You are watching a master at work.
This shit called drone. Here we go.
Smoking, watching movie, joking with the young and goofy. Scrolling through his phone and seen a Cuban link that's worn by Gucci. Fascinated by gangsta shit and trying to get rich or fake it like you got it. So everyone double tap his pick. Depositing fake reality for salary, non-negotiable. Overdosing on sociable, quotable. So the locals know that his chain is a movie. That his bitches is bougie. That his activist leaning. That he really unruly. 27 with pocket money and 4 world rats. Ain't punching clocks, but punctuation on where the plug at. Dry snitching and fishing for likes with frequent visits. Posting pictures with burners for stripes and recognition. Flexing with 4 bands, he smiled for the cameraman. Then Instagram his location, his followers tapping in. 3 enemies waiting, 1 bullet, 1 mask. Got his fucking brains blown out over 2 hashtags, you know.
May not always be around. I don't need you so bad. May not always get around. I don't need you so bad.
What's going on, y'all? It's the mob, not the wild. Back in here for another one. Apologize for the late start. Well, excuse me. This is the first episode of the Mop Wack Afternoon Show. I hope everybody doing good out there. Speedboat, what it do? Hit that like button on the way in. Fall into the chat. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, subscribe to the channel. Not gonna be here too long. Not gonna be here too terribly long. Got a few things I want to cover and talk about, and then I'm gonna get y'all on back to y'all regular scheduled program. It's Friday evening, Friday the 17th. For clerical purposes, as of today, this channel is at 156 subscribers. That'll make sense in the future. I hope everybody doing good. One of the things we're gonna touch on today, man. Poetik Flakko. Like I told y'all last week, he did a good job, man. He did a great job. However, and this is a serious however, we definitely have to get back to the, what's the word I want to use? The bullshit he does, for lack of better words. I seen a video the other day. He was talking about how Brick Baby out here lying on Wack 100. All this bullshit. Ain't nobody lying on him, man. But with that, he go to misrepresenting. You know, I teach y'all about malicious misinformation, so he gets to spewing that out. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're gonna point that out, because anybody, if you've been here, if you're not new here, then you know we've thoroughly unpacked the Wack 100 situation. Speedbo begs to differ. And we working on something in that regard, but for now, all we have is the facts that's presented before me, for us, and we're gonna get into that. Y'all hang tight for a second, man, and we're gonna get back here in just a moment, and we're gonna get started. Like I said, we're not gonna be here too long today. Should be out of here in an hour and a half, something like that.
Downtown, me first, me first. She needs me, I need her.
I wanna pick your brain too. I wanna get the brain too. Tell the truth, I might even stand in the rain too. Just to make you rain too. See your last one to recognize your worth. All good, I let him go first. All good, I let you go first. I come right after, then sec you round the curve. Your name can only pertain to the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't go back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to want me. Just like I want you. Just like I want you. Just like I want you. Just like I want you.
She needs me, I need her. Downtown, me first, me first, me first. She needs me, I need her.
I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to want me. Want you to want me. When your name is mentioned, hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to. The love for your name can only pertain to the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein. I never complain. I just want you to want me. Want you to want me. The love for your name can only pertain to the flame I got in my vein. I never complain when your name is mentioned. I can't hold back or restrain. It's the flame I got in my vein.
Yeah, man. Hit that like button if you haven't already, man. We about to get started here. Matter of fact, let's go and get to it. Like I say, y'all, we done gave Flakko considerable grace. Let me size it up a little bit. There we go. All right, we giving Flakko considerable grace around here. No, we haven't. I'm lying. We showed Flakko some love last week because, like I said, he did a good job. But now we back on track because we know, as we know, a broken clock, even a broken clock can be, will be right at least twice a day. And with that being said, we back to the nonsense. We back to the foolishness. Now he's back with Wack 100. And if y'all don't remember Wack 100, Wack 100 is the one that snatched him up back when P Nice and DW Flame had a show over there on No Jumper. Now, while the DW Flame and the P Nice show has expired, I can't recall the name of that motherfucker off the top of my head right now. It was a decent show. But that's come to its conclusion. However, the relationships that Flakko developed from there, i.e. Viral Way and Brandon Butcher Bell Brown, it has continued to be fruitful for Adam 22 and those individuals. But without further ado, man, let's go and get into this shit. I told y'all last week how Flakko will... He'll go from being like we was talking about, this motherfucker still in the cab ride. He'll go from being your friend to turning on you in the blink of an eye. and we noticed that the first time when Flakko dropped put Kill Squad in the street, and that whole let's get off of that. Let's get into the video. We're going to stop and go how we need to, but I'm going to try to let him get through this nonsense and only stop it where he's blatantly lying.
Jail call, Brick Baby will go off on Wack 100 in response to Wack 100 calling him a snitch. Now, in his response, Brick Baby will make his own accusations against Wack 100. Now, conveniently or ironically, around the same time the call came out, Wack 100 actually confronted the person who's been spreading, I guess, the misinformation, or who gave Brick Baby the information about Wack 100 on a Clubhouse. And we're going to cover everything. So first off,
we're going to stop right there. I'm not going to lie to y'all like I've never seen this video. I did watch through it once. So he's not going to cover everything. In fact, he's saying that as the pretext for all of the information he's going to leave out and all of the misinformation he's about to convey. Let's go.
Doing a recorded jail call going off on Wack is because last week, Wack 100
traveling with Adam to New York and Atlanta. Can't no travel once the Fed snatch you, boy.
Well,
unless
hey,
you working. Big Baby is never.
Those are lies. That's not true, y'all. Stop the video here. Go Google it and see if I'm lying or not. I'm not gonna do all that, but I'm just gonna tell y'all that's factually untrue. Let's go.
In Big U Rico.
If you see my last video, I did say for me to believe that Brick Baby told.
And again, Flakko, why are you wearing lip gloss?
I would have to see the black and white paperwork, man. I just got so much love for Brick Baby that I can't even imagine Brick would do such a thing. I would just need the black and white. Like,
this that bullshit I be talking about, right? And this is what he do last time. It ain't just with him, it's with everybody. And don't just take this as an example. But it's not just something that Flakko does. It's something that all bullshit ass niggas do. Wack 100, all of them, they'll sit up there and be like, yeah, I like this guy, or this and that. And that's just the preface for you to be able to lie with him, seemingly with impunity. You know what I mean? Motherfucker, they try to set it up like, oh, I'm only saying this because I got to. You a lying piece of shit. And you know you lying. You know you presenting false information. Yeah, it's like, who put you up to it, though? But we talk about that enough. We know. At this point, let's go.
Like, show me Brick Baby. Like, show me, you know, like the black and white, right? So Brick Baby responds back to Wack. And Brick Baby's response is essentially to accuse Wack of the same thing. So Brick Baby takes to his channel and
hey man, this motherfucker giving the most Saucy Santana vibes he done ever gave. I can't lie to y'all. It's a bunch of thumbnails out there, memes. It's even a couple on my page where motherfucker done mixed and fixed his face with a Saucy Santana. But you listen to the tone, the inflection of his voice, you look at his face, his mannerisms, all this shit, man. It's giving Saucy Santana like it's giving City Girl. You dig what I'm saying? On top of that, this motherfucker ain't doing nothing but lying to y'all. And then I'm gonna let it play for a little bit. I don't want to stop and go too much. So I'm gonna let him get enough of this bullshit off so I can kind of explain how we know he's lying. Let's go.
in like his response, he brings up something that's not really new. Like what he brings up has been discussed at length for a while now. I think.
Hold on, back up. I know I said we were gonna do too much stop and go, but like I say, the demeanor. Look at the mannerisms. Flakko is almost like he gives off this expression. It's almost as like he's disgusted when people steadily bringing up this factual information that him and Wack and everybody else keeps trying to label or present as misinformation. But don't worry. After we finish here, we're going to go watch the video where the person that he's lying on, Lamonte Sims, Deuce Sims, if y'all don't know, actually breaks it all down, points out all the lies, all the fallacies. Now, that one is a long-ass video, and we're going to have to do a bunch of jumping around on that bitch to find it. But we're gonna actually, after we watch this bullshit, We gonna expose the lies in it. My bad, y'all. This should have been on 1.5. Let's go.
Like what he brings up has been discussed at length for a while now. I think Wack 100 is currently involved in a civil lawsuit because of this, because Worldstar published a video on their main channel accusing Wack 100 of being a snitch from a case that Wack essentially has nothing to do with. So Break Baby is bringing...
He's lying right there. So he's talking about Lamonte Sims, Deuce Sims of Active Chucks Entertainment, and the documentary that they uploaded to, or they put on Worldstar last year, or excuse me, 2 years ago, exposing Wack 100 as a CS2 back. Now he's gonna present y'all. Now keep in mind it's October, so he's gonna present some information from last year around this same time to make it seem like it's some recent shit. But for the record, the documentary that Flakko is claiming that he's talking about, that motherfucker is back up on Worldstar today. And I think we're going to go and verify. We're going to go pull that video up to verify it. But let's go.
Those rumors back up and asking Wack 100 to address it.
Hey, what's the big old deal? What's the big old deal? Don't see you late, man. It's the Brick. I know y'all ain't heard from me in a minute. I've been sitting back, kicking it, man. But, you know, Mr. Face Down, Ass Up, and mentioning my name so much that I got it. I don't even have to defend myself, so I'm not even finna get over here acting like I'm finna defend myself. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's literally nothing for Brick to defend himself on in this situation. We can all see, excuse me, everything that's going on. Man ain't told on nobody. Well, let me say this: if Brick is, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna put that. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna give him the benefit of the misdoubt. From everything we seen, in my understanding, they stood 10 toes. I ain't told on nobody, and this is what not just Wack, but all your deceptive master deceivers they do. They it's called, they appeal to the absence of information. So just because it don't say that you didn't, because it let me get that together. We're gonna come back to it. But he's basically, when motherfuckers, you ain't got no proof that this motherfucker is telling, but even with that, you'll conflate some other shit to say, oh well, this is like this, and there's some other shit that we can't see right now, but because of that, I'm gonna say that you snitching. But that same shit don't apply to you though. It don't apply to him. He can't be CS2 back for the same, by his logic, for the same reason that he's able to put these jackets on everybody else. Now let's go.
You get no points for not telling. That's what a real nigga's supposed to do. So I'm not gonna shower myself with flowers, none. You know what I mean? You people that feel like you need to be showered with flowers because you didn't tell, that mean that it was a thought in the back of your head that you could get off on somebody.
Real talk. He ain't said no lies right there.
But this is all I want to know. Mr. Cash Jones, Wack 100, right? Whatever happened to the case that was filed on you for conspiracy to commit murder? That's all I want to know. You know what I mean? We just want you to go get the paperwork to all the cases that you've had filed against you. We don't care about the gun case in Oklahoma. That could have, well, you got caught with 20 guns and all that shit. I got caught with less than that.
That Oklahoma case, that is separate from the Wheeler, Texas case. Even though they were on their way to Oklahoma with a bunch of guns and the day after. Bro, there's so many holes in this shit that this man has never cleared up. But he's an exposer and runs an active campaign of trying to make everybody else out to be exactly what he is. Let's go.
You know what I mean? We already see the outcome of that. So I just want to know, from a man to a man, when they kicked your door in over you being the gossip little troll you are, talking to Stutterbox and talking to Dale Dog, you dropping the low on Stutterbox, saying that he live across.
This call is from a federal prison.
Dale Dog, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Shout out to Double D's, man. You know what I'm saying? About Street Mafia. You and Stutterbox. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Stutterbox on the phone on my next video. We gonna go.
No need, Break. I mean, yeah, do that for your audience, but it's already on the internet. All y'all gotta do is go back through this channel. There's a video. It's probably, I think it may be my highest viewed live so far, and it's not that many views, like 2,500 views, some shit like that. But I want to say that's the one. We went down a rabbit hole, and we fully explored this whole Wack 100 situation, and that's why I'm not gonna entirely like just go do a full deep dive again, because I don't want to beat a dead horse. I just want to make sure that anybody that tries to come past this shit and clean it up, that we steer you back to the correct information, to the factual details. Let's go.
Go over it lick by lick, right? But explain to me what happened when they kicked your door in for a conspiracy to commit murder. Those type of cases just don't go away. So, did you turn evidence of the U.S. government or the state? What happened? Because we have no clue. If you say that you're not CS2 back, cool. We know that you CS2 back.
Let's give you guys a backstory, because a lot of you guys are not familiar with it.
The thing is this, and this is what I want y'all to pay attention to. Why is it so important for Flakko to clean this shit up for Wack 100? Why? What's the point? Nah, fuck, not just what's the point. What is your intention? Like, who put you up to this to care enough about this? I mean, I stand on the side of righteousness, and I don't like no. I mean, technically on some biblical shit, but I, like on the side of what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and that's why that's why you'll see me come to the defense of certain motherfuckers. But when you see shit that is seemingly wrong or obviously wrong, you know what I mean, and you got these people that try to present it as something other than that, you have to question yourself. What is their reasoning? Why? What is their intent? Why do you want motherfuckers to not see this for what it is? Why are you trying to cover up a lie? Let's go.
Exactly what case Brick Baby is talking about. Shaq, when he was playing for the Lakers, ingratiated himself with the Main Street Crips, right? He was rolling around with gang members for protection. Now, he began to do business with this guy called Robert Ross. Now, Shaquille O'Neal and his business partner, Mark Stevens, they had a record label. Robert Ross brought a rapper to Shaq. However, whatever happened with that particular deal with the rapper that he brought to Shaq, the business broke down. Robert Ross felt like he was cheated or scammed, and him and Shaq became ops. Robert Ross still...
Speedboat say, y'all can't be putting jackets on my client. He ain't cold. Look, Speedboat, this is a snitch's vest. How about that? Just let's go.
Still wanted some money out of Shaq. So even though the deal broke down, he began to threaten Shaq and tell Shaq, I got a sex tape of your wife. Pay up or else I'm going to release it. Now, Robert Ross, looking back, he was bluffing the entire time. He never had a sex tape with Shawnee O'Neal, but he was telling Shaq that. So Shaquille O'Neal kept, kept getting harassed, kept getting threatened. He wanted Robert Ross to go away permanently. Robert Ross was ultimately kidnapped by 7 Main Street Crips. So on or about February 11, 2008, in the county of Los Angeles, Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens, acting through their agents, Liddell, a.k.a. Del Dog, and other members of Los Angeles street gang mainstream mafia Crips, they kidnapped Robert Ross, committed an assault and battery on plaintiff, converted the personal property of plaintiff, and intentionally caused plaintiff to suffer emotional distress. This was a big deal. 7 Crips got arrested for this. Now, apparently, it wasn't just a kidnapping case. No, this was a conspiracy to commit murder. Like, their plans was to apparently kill Robert Ross, or Robert Ross escaped or didn't die. So a lot of people was committed because Shaquille O'Neal was involved in it somehow. A lot of people was committed to making sure either those 7 Crips get off or those 7 Crips get convicted. And the state wanted those 7 Crips to be convicted. Ultimately, they could tie Shaq to this. So what happened is there was a man called Stutterbox. Now, Stutterbox was apparently a confidential informant at that particular time. Stutterbox was working against the 7 mainstream Crips.
Bro, check this out. This is what I mean by Flakko don't know what the fuck he be talking about. Stutterbox is Robert Ross. I mean, I technically I could stop it right there, because like fundamentally you don't know what the fuck you talking about. The same, like you talking about these people like they 2 different people. Nigga, Robert Ross is Stutterbox. And that shit, it gets so crazy, right? Because as this goes on, and I'm gonna show y'all. Remember how I told y'all Robert Ross is has the same alias. This Robert Ross has the same alias as the guy in the bow tie the theory of the guy in the bow tie that killed Biggie. Him and Robert Ross have the same alias. The person working that case, the Greg Caden dude, I'm sure y'all familiar with him. That is the person that, even though he didn't work this case, he's the one that's been out and about doing everything he can to, well, excuse me, at least he tried to, up until the point where he kind of boxed himself in and he stopped. But he was out campaigning to try to clear Wack's name on this shit. And it gets so deep, like I say, because that Greg Caden is a state guy, but he got deputized on some federal shit. You know what? Like I say, that at this point, there's no way for us not to go down that rabbit hole. But I'm gonna try to do it in a way to where, you know what? Let's finish the video. We're gonna get where we're going.
And Stutterbox eventually took the stand against the Main Street Crips, right? Because Stutterbox was in a mix of everybody, but he was already a working informant. So all he had to do was just come and testify and tell everything. Now, there were several calls with Stutterbox and Del Dog, who they would say was the agent or the Crip that kind of directed everything. So Stutterbox was in the know-how, right? He was on the phone with Del Dog, and he knew everything. Stutterbox, at that time, though, was also working against Wack 100. Now, Stutterbox would claim he only told on Wack 100 because the police was telling him that Wack 100 was coming after him because he was working and snitching on Shaq, because Shaq and Wack 100 was like this. So the police told Stutterbox, yo, Wack is coming after you, bro. So Stutterbox began to snitch on Wack and claim that Wack was driving like drugs across state line with his
malicious misinformation. They give out this, and they say it like they know what they're talking about. They tell this drastically a deviation, a bastardization of the story, of what the story actually is, and make y'all think that these are actual facts. Them ain't the facts. We gonna get there.
Trucking company. Wack gets pulled over. He gets raided. His house gets raided. They find a firearm, but the firearm belongs to Wack's wife, who's legal. So,
but here's the thing: he told everybody. He told everybody that they didn't find nothing in the house. Like I say, there's so many instances of Wack 100 telling at least 3 different versions of these events. That is like, how can you tell us, y'all at home, man? How can a motherfucker tell you, be telling the truth and have 3 different versions of the same events? How is that possible? How do you even, how in your mind do you rationalize even hearing them out? After the second story is, you know what I'm saying, different from the first. Especially when it's being juxtaposed with a unchanging story of what the fuck happened. So they lying on you, but their story has never changed, but yours keeps changing. Let's go.
They didn't bring no charges. They didn't find any drugs, right? And in like Wack's car. So Wack right now is sitting in a advantageous position. Wack was trying to sue LAPD. Wack was trying to sue the F out of them for the raid. Now, again, this is all documented stuff. Like this is all stuff that's on paper. Like, this is all documented. Wack is trying to sue them. So corrupt cop Greg Hayden, you heard that name before. He's the cop that apparently solved Biggie's murder, or he's also the cop that did like the proffer with,
how the fuck you solve the murder that's still open?
With Keefe D, but then eventually leaked the proffer, right, of Keefe D confessing to Tupac's murder. So corrupt cop Greg Hayden tells Wack and his attorney, bro, listen, okay, please. I will tell you who tipped us off to you, right? Just so you know, okay? But bro, between me and you, bro, like, chill. So Wack lawyer kind of convinced him, hey,
listen, this is the premise. And this come back to them lies. Wack 100 said they searched his house. They didn't come up with nothing. They had been tapping his phone and all this type of shit. So he went down there to the FBI building, up to the 6th floor. I'm not making this shit up. He said the same girls that was at the bar. I'm sorry. I skipped the part. Stutterbox invited him to the bar out to eat and he had some ladies and they was talking about buying work and shit. And then later on, he go up to the FBI building, up to the 6th floor to talk to them about raiding his home and having his lines tapped. And he see the same 2 females that was that Stutterbox had at the club. These are lies, people. Now from there, he go on and say, as he was leaving, they came down and told him, look, our department can't afford this. Now, mind you, this was, we'll get there. They come down there and tell him, we can't afford this. So if you just let this go, we'll owe you one. Come on, man. That's the deal they made with a black man. They not even do that shit with their own, bro. This is the most dumbest shit. They're not. All right. With that, they brought him on Clubhouse. Weird place. They brought him on Clubhouse and he clarified, no, we never fucking made a deal with Wack 100 to where we owe him a favor. We gonna get there. Don't worry. We gonna expose all this shit.
Right. You don't want to piss them off too much, bro. Like, you know, like it was a raid. There's not much you can get out of this, to be honest. But he's willing to tell us who tipped him off to you, right? Don't you want to know who the confidential informant is? So Greg Caden tells Wack, yo, Stutterbox told on you. Yo,
That's such a lie. Like I say, you gotta not know no better, and you gotta believe everything you see on TV to believe that an FBI agent just gave you their source. A gang member, a violent gang member who has violent convictions. You get what I'm saying? You want to convince us that they not only did they agree to owe you one, but they also told you who leaked the information. Like, on no level does that shit make any sense. And Flakko know that don't make no sense. But he'll sit up here and tell the fucking world this bullshit. And like I say, my thing is, what you got against Brick? Let's go.
Stutterbox is working. Wack gets this information and Wack begins to expose Stutterbox, just like how Wack has been exposing people on the internet over the last couple of years, right? But in the streets is your word versus my word, right? It's, yo, he a snitch. No, hell no, not a snitch. So it was Stutterbox word versus Wack 100 word, right? And Stutterbox was the
Now, for the record, y'all, this was over 15 years ago. Nobody knew who Wack was. I just want to put that on the record. This was over 15 years ago. And this is the crucial part right here. So now Flakko was saying, oh, Wack said it. He turned on him and tried to make it known. So now he's gonna sit up here and tell you how he talked to Dale Dog. It's actually recorded. It's a viral. It's a memeable, whatever it is. Motherfucker say, I talked to Dale Dog. I talked to Dog. Yeah, no, you ain't talked to him. You tried to talk to him. And they said they don't want to talk to you. That's what's in the paperwork. All these details is what we're going to go over next, of how Wack told us, basically, without him trying or knowing what he was doing, he told us about the fucking case and he inserted himself in this shit. Well, nobody even know about this shit. But you know how some people know what they know when they wrong, and they figure they'll get ahead. They think they so smart, they figure they'll get ahead of it. So, on his fall into the industry, and like I say, this raises broader concerns about what all that's about. You know what I mean? I don't want to get in no rabbit hole. Let's finish this, because I don't want to get into talking about how I feel like Wack 100 is working for the government, like not just on some on some snitching shit, but like on some in the propaganda sense as well, to put it simply.
And everything. But when the trial of the 7 mainstream Crips started, Stutterbox was called to take the stand against them and testify against them, because Stutterbox has been on wiretaps on the phone with Del Dog, who's supposed to be like the orchestrator of everything. So when Stutterbox was taking a stand, Wack 100 knew everything about Stutterbox. Wack 100 told his attorney, listen, here is all the terrible things I know about Stutterbox. Tell the defense attorneys for the 7 mainstream Crips, yo, ask him this. I'll bet you he's going to lie about that on the stand. I'll bet you he's going to lie about that, and he's not going to be credible. So Wack 100 gave him like the information. They asked Stutterbox this, and Stutterbox fed right into it. He lied, he perjured himself, and Stutterbox, like, testimony got thrown out. Well, Stutterbox,
as y'all see, Greg Kading will come forth and say that's absolutely untrue. Wack did not do that. We won't get there.
Was like the start witness outside of Robert Ross. And that led to the 7 Main Street Crips be in the case. Now, because of that particular part, right, being involved or being a part of it, right, because Wack 100 was involved, I think, in helping the Main Street Crips beat the case, Wack 100 enemies, they dropped the documentary. And in this documentary, they reference a call It was a call with Del Dog, which is the leader who orchestrated the kidnapping of Robert Ross. It was Stutterbox and
Man, I'm having a hard time. Let him get this bullshit out. Let's go.
there was a guy called CS2 Back. So now the enemies of Wack 100 are saying, hold on. Well, if you help them beat the case, then how come your name not in the paperwork? Well, he did it through his lawyer. And then they're saying, hold on. His name ain't in the paperwork because Wack 100 must be CS2 Back. Now, CS2 Back stands for Confidential Informant Back. And the only evidence they're saying that Wack is CS2 Back is they're claiming that the name sounded alike. That the name CS2 Back sounds like Wack, so Wack 100 must be CS2 Back. I've taken the position of, I'm not going with this until I see the black and white paperwork, right? Break Baby is my brother. Wack 100 is my brother. I'm not picking sides in their beef. Just like how I made that video saying, I'm not calling Brick Baby a snitch or a rat until I see black and white paperwork. I'm not saying Wack 100 is CS2 Back, or I'm not calling Wack 100 no rat until I see the black and white. Until I see Cash Jones sign a proffer saying this. Or yo, Cash Jones interrogation, or yo, Cash. Bro, if there's no black and white, yo, bro, y'all gotta stop calling people rats. If there's no black and white, or unless, in the case of, let's say, Jeezy, right, where the literal FBI agent is coming out and saying, yeah, he did it. But yeah, that's who CS2 Back is. That's who they're claiming it is, okay? But Wack 100, from my perspective, is not CS2 Back. CS2 Back was a confidential informant that was on the phone with Stutterbox and Del Dog, right? And he fed information on that conversation with Del Dog to the folks and got Del Dog caught up as well, right? So that's the backstory. So when you hear Big Baby say CS2 Back, just know that's what he's referring to. Now, we also have audio of Wack 100 addressing this, and we'll also play that shortly.
But what happened to the case? How you get off from the conspiracy case? You gave Del Dog the information why them phones was tapped, and Stutterbox got shot up. His house or his car got shot up, and you was to blame for it. They came and kicked your door. You let your wife go down for the blower. You know what I mean? Another bitch ass nigga move. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You got your girls. It wasn't. I don't think that it was registered to her. I don't want to get ahead of the game, but your girl didn't have a registered blower. You let her take the case, and so that means you told on your bitch, and you told on them niggas from Main Street. Well, you tried to. They already knew you was hot, and they wouldn't answer none of your phone calls. Because what you said in a YouTube or a Clubhouse room, you said that, hey, do you know somebody told on me? You said, hey, all I was trying to do was holler at Del Dog and tell him that Stutterbox might be telling. But guess what? That's all CS2 Back was talking about in his paperwork. They was just trying to get to Double D. Double D say, I don't want to talk to Wack. I don't know how CS2 Back got switched up to Wack, but they say they don't want to talk to the Wack nigga. So Mr. Cash Jones, this is we gonna do it like we on the yard. We giving you a 30-day challenge, right, to come produce that paperwork or hang your chucks up on the wire. We don't want to hear the excuses. We don't want you to babble on about, oh, everybody just want me to be a snitch. We just want the facts to be facts. All my paperwork is public property. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, all you got to do is go to whatever hall of records you can go to. Go get that paperwork, which you probably got in the house. You probably burnt that shit, though. You don't want that shit nowhere around you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wack took the Clubhouse to respond to Break Baby. The misconception here is because people don't have the full story, they think that Wack 100 was charged. Wack 100 is not a Main Street Crip, right? Wack 100 is a Pyro. He wasn't charged with the Main Street Crip in the conspiracy to commit murder. No, Wack 100 is Shaq, which is really cool.
It's so much bullshit. It wasn't just they was really cool. Some whole extortion and all kind of shit. Go look up Deja Vu 34. Or excuse me, Deja 34. Well, this shit get deep, man. But I say wonder, makes you really wonder. It don't, because we've been talking about this shit long enough for y'all to see through it. But let's go.
And Wack 100, like, kind of helped them beat the case, you know, by giving up Stutterbox to their defense attorneys, okay? But Wack 100 is not a Main Street Crip. CS2 Back cannot be Wack 100 because Wack 100 isn't a Crip, nor was Wack 100 ever charged with conspiracy to like, commit murder. And that's where the misconception is, right? Because CS2 Back, I believe, was somebody who was charged or one of the people who was involved somehow who turned bad. So Wack responds back to Break Baby, and here's what he has to say.
We saying so much dumb. I got 30 days to cover my paperwork. What paperwork, you stupid? What, never charged with location? Idiot. It's so dumb. And then he said all topic. He must have forgot all the clips we got. You got arrested for AK. No, I didn't. Oh, no, you didn't? Do you not know we got your paperwork now, nigga? That when
Logical fallacy, y'all.
The day you got arrested for AK-47, the day you got said, I ain't never been on the wire.
You trying to make it about everything but you being CS2 Back.
Taps. Nigga, you on a wiretap right here, threatening your baby mama. This is why they raided your house on June.
What the fuck they got to do with you being CS2 Back?
23rd. Yeah. He's slow. Now when I go on there and over him, wax the bully. Said I had a murder for hire case.
And the reason I'm saying that is because whenever a motherfucker call you out for some shit or whatever a motherfucker calling somebody out for something and their response is to go after something unrelated to that, you better pay attention. That's concerning.
Right. What the fuck? I had a murder for hire. The dinner said, you got Stutterbox Rolls Royce. See, this is how you know a lot of these dudes wasn't around. A lot of these people that be talking now, y'all wasn't around in them days. Because if you was around, you would known Stutterbox Rolls Royce got years before he got into it with Dildo. Redondo Beach over there, we went to get the Mexican food. Somewhere over there. But he wasn't around. Like, how old is that dude? I bet he mid-30s. He might have been 10, 11 years old. Yeah, you wasn't around.
But see, that's not what the paperwork says. That's not what the case was about. But we're going to get there. Don't worry.
Oh, that's 2002, 3. Let me see. A lot of these dudes wasn't around. Y'all just wasn't around.
Regardless of what y'all think about Wack 100, Wack 100 is currently suing WorldStar because WorldStar published this on their YouTube channel. So if he's currently suing WorldStar because this is fake,
Wack is currently being sued for that. I can't do this no more, y'all. Let's switch over. Let's switch over 1 second. Overlay. Boom. There we go.
Hey, what's up? We live for all the out there. What's up? Y'all want to be famous? Here you go.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. CS2 Back has been getting his back beaten like a drum, y'all. He has completely lost control of his exposers, and the exposers have completely lost sight of their former objective. They've been spending so much time with their backs against the ropes, they've had absolutely no time to present paperwork to the people. Today on Clubhouse, CS2 Back tried to act like he didn't know that Deuce M's filed a $5 million lawsuit against him, YouTube and WorldStar Hip Hop. You guys, listen to all of the excuses CS2 Back comes up with.
Listen, Speedboat, your client is going down, and as soon as we can find a courtroom to where we can get this case adjudicated, I'm going to show you with more than circumstantial evidence, but I'm going to show you with absolute proof that your client is in fact a lot more than just a rat.
In an attempt to dismiss the truth and the seriousness of the lawsuit.
So, what about this $5 million lawsuit?
What $5? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, somebody's supposed to.
Oh, yeah, they said they got a $5 million lawsuit.
They're suing you for $5 million. You and WorldStar, bro.
You, WorldStar, and YouTube.
Yep. I don't have nothing to do with WorldStar, so I don't know. I don't post on WorldStar, so what are they suing me for? How about that?
CS2 Back has already began the Deflect and Dismiss campaign. CS2 Back had Deuce M's video taken down, claiming that he was the rightful owner of the content. Content that Deuce M's already had copywritten. Somebody tell Porky that he can't do that. And now it's looking like the $100,000 that Porky was going to use to bail out Keefy D is now going to end up going into Deuce's pockets. This is why we call him Easy Cash App Jones.
They said it was something had to do with some copyright abuse or something you did in respect to that documentary of that CS2 Back, whatever that Deuce and them was running.
What are you talking about? That's my lawsuit.
I ain't talking about it. That's what they talking
niggas
about.
Is weird, bro.
That's the first thing motherfucker do when they full of shit. They're like, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, but they'll say, what are you talking about? I'm talking about what the fuck you hear me saying, goddamn it. What the fuck you mean? What am I talking about? Talking about your police ass activities.
God, the nigga telling me about my lawsuit that I filed. What the fuck are you talking about?
Deflect and dismiss again. Porky tries to say Deuce's lawsuit doesn't matter because he is the one who has a defamation lawsuit. So he deflects by saying he's the one with the lawsuit, allowing him to dismiss Deuce's lawsuit. Just for the record, you guys, Porky, the pit poodle Pyru, has no lawsuit at all.
And that's why I was like, damn.
That's my lawsuit that I filed.
You said $5 million. Now he's saying you gonna hold him $5 million.
Yeah, he said you gonna hold him $5.
Okay, well, I got you.
Wack, you ain't see that they was running that?
Bro, they can run what they want. This is the real life. See, y'all gotta stop being so slow. Tell the nigga to show you the lawsuit. Come on, I can show you my lawsuit.
The pit poodle Pyru hasn't showed anyone any lawsuit ever. This same clown told us he filed a lawsuit against the FBI when they raided his house. He said he filed a lawsuit against Mika when she made his butt cheeks public. He even said he had a lawsuit against Mark Stevens. See what I mean when I say his back is against the wall? I feel sorry for Big Chuck. Big Chuck is forced to act like he doesn't see the absolute clown CS2 Back is, because CS2 Back went and trademarked Chuck's company name, Death of the Clout Chasers, before Chuck could. Which is the reason Chuck has to write DOTCC instead of just saying Death of the Clout Chasers. I think Chuck feels if he keeps it cool with Porky, then maybe he'll give it back. I don't know what it is, but that's the kind of rat bastard CS2 Back is.
No, he showed some shit, bro.
I can show you the court, man. It shows some shit he made up.
Yeah, he showed some shit. He like, yo,
how the fuck you suing me? How you suing me for my defamation to carry suit against? And listen, this was crazy. So let's get this right. Deuce M's is suing WorldStar.
He's suing you, WorldStar.
Look how
that means him and Big U didn't fell out. That's good. No.
Deflect and dismiss again. Now the deflection is that if Deuce is suing WorldStar, then him and Big U must have fell out. Now he can dismiss the case Deuce has against him.
If he's suing WorldStar, that means him and Big U didn't fell out. That's Big U. That's his relationship. It's WorldStar. That's great to know. That's over with it. If that nigga suing World Star, that means his relationship with Big U is over with. Because that's his relationship.
Who knows? They could have just put that out there as a play. Ain't no telling.
Bro, they don't. That's where the math don't make sense. He leaning on Big U to do some things. World Star is Big U's relationship.
Boy,
I can show you
nothing you
the
say,
paperwork.
nothing you be saying make no goddamn sense. Everything you say is fallible. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing you say, but all of a sudden everything, boy. That's how manipulators work, man. That's how master liars work.
Where my attorney tried to put Big U in the suit, and I wouldn't let him do it. So I don't put niggas' names in paperwork, but the company, and it ain't even World Star. That's how I know he got
He
it.
say he don't put motherfucking name in paperwork, but he absolutely sued Lamonte Sims.
The company's LA Media.
Now Porky deflects by saying you can't sue World Star. You have to sue the company that owns it. He says the company is LA Media, and since they said World Star, CS2 Back can now dismiss the lawsuit against him, saying it's cap. Just for the record, CS2 Back is lying again like he always does. The company that owns World Star is Media Lab LA, not LA Media. Porky lies about everything.
You can't sue World Star. World Star is owned by LA Media.
Hey, Wack, you say you sent that shit to your lawyer.
Don't matter. You can send whatever you want to send.
What kind of sense do that make? A motherfucker say you can't sue World Star because World Star is owned by somebody else. So it's a parent. It's still an entity, but it has a parent entity. I'm telling y'all, motherfucker, this mind be trying to play. He assumed that y'all stupid, and he play on that. And he just do it with confidence. And this is why I be talking about the Dunning-Kruger effect. The confidence will come off to motherfuckers who don't know no better as competence, and that's not the case.
But the company's LA Media, bro. You can't even sue World Star.
Hey, I wonder how they got to the number 5 tickets, though.
Don't make
Was he gonna make 5 tickets off the video?
Fuck out of here, bro. Niggas talking out their ass, bro. That's what I'm saying. Y'all be like, these niggas ain't got nothing to talk about, so they say anything because they know some niggas will talk about anything.
Nigga, that's content. He just running content. He gotta be. Because
I mean, that ain't my type of content, bro.
Listen to them dick suckers in the back. Oh, he just running content. He gotta just be running content. You gay ass nigga, man. You What the fuck has Wack ever done to make you think that he's forthcoming with the truth? I don't get it.
I bet you this. If I brought my suit shit, it's gonna be very, very real. Boom, 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 boom. You got LA Media World Star saying, okay, we have investigated, and yes, we're pulling it down. We see that Mr. Jones is not named in any of these allegations. Boom, 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 boom. Come
Now,
now.
the nigga had your name up there. He had some shit where it showed you had pulled it down. He had
You got a nigga over there. It's the same nigga that makes fake paperwork, right? That nigga. I got time.
Deflect and dismiss.
Fake paperwork. We gonna get there, y'all. Nobody made them no fake paperwork on you.
Now the deflection is that Deuce made some fake work before, so we can dismiss the whole lawsuit.
I did say that though, but and Chuck did say that whenever some shit comes up, it's gonna have his credibility in question because of that fake paperwork.
But first of all, I know this 2 for $5 million. You gotta justify $5 million.
Yo, and then whoever the commenter, that's the shit about Clubhouse. Wow. This motherfucker in the background just co-signing that shit. Like, what are you co-signing, bro? You sit up there going along with this shit. Talking about, yeah, he released the fake paper. What fake paperwork? You can't be talking about the Wheeler, Texas shit. You can't be talking about that because, motherfucker, we reacted to the video. They called down there and talked to the clerk and everything. You can't be talking about the CS2 Back shit because this motherfucker came out himself and said that the video wasn't fake. And if we have to, we'll add that to the rabbit hole and we can watch that next.
No, you know that fake paperwork shit got them niggas, man. Forever. They ran fake paperwork when they suffered.
Yeah,
ain't nobody ran fake paperwork on shit. Motherfucker, it is what it is. And everybody around him, not you, Speedboat, I know you just doing content. Everybody around this motherfucker co-signing that shit. Man, something ain't right with you.
That's what put everything in question. But I don't know who this girl Henny is. But
somebody don't want me to mention her name. It's never gonna happen.
She said you did mention her. She said you said.
I ain't mentioned that woman's name.
She said you said that she a dog or some shit. What you said?
I ain't never mentioned that woman's name. Don't know the woman. That's Deuce Sims attempting to get me to mention somebody's name I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. But what I will say is this. There's a few people that do know her. She's right over there in New York. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Don't blame me. I don't know her. Never have it happen.
Don't you guys hate the way this fat bastard sits on Clubhouse with the mic all in his mouth as he smacks his food? There is something extremely zesty about the way he does that. Now he's trying to threaten Henny, as if someone in New York is actually sliding for the pit poodle. All this because Porky keeps getting exposed.
That had to be one of the cruise ship hits or something.
I don't know who that lady is, bro.
I don't know. It's
what cruise ship? What? We talking about a cruise ship? I ain't never been on a cruise ship. What you talking about?
I'm trying to figure out, man.
I've never been on a cruise ship in my life.
I'm just bullshit with the cruise ship, but I'm just like...
You lying. Nah, I ain't gonna say you was on no cruise ship, but you and Kim was on a motherfucking boat down there in Miami, and them New York niggas was getting real fresh with your ex-wife, current wife at the time, the one, the mother of all your kids. And she was real friendly. She was real friendly. And if I got to, we can put that in the rabbit hole and we'll react to that as well.
Where does lady come from?
I don't know the lady, bro. It's clout. I am the Drake of the internet. I'm the Drake of podcast. Mention Wack name if you nobody, and that's the picture. They gonna look at you.
That boy said he the Drake of podcasting. That's your boy, Speedboat. He the Drake of podcasting.
Where you go today? I don't know her.
I don't want to be the Drake of nothing. I don't want to be the Drake of shit.
I don't know nothing about it, even have a conversation. I don't know the lady.
She on your life, G.
She ain't on my life. Oh, she's on YouTube life.
Yeah, well, she on your YouTube life.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Yeah, 5 million.
Yeah, and I'm suing World Star and him for 5 million. Nigga right here. Now watch this, bro.
That's about as foolish as you sounded. If that sounds foolish to you, that's as foolish as you sounded.
That's how you know he got rat in him. Because I didn't even include him in my civil suit. That's how you know.
Fucking liar. I hope they finna show that. That's how I know he got rat in him. Because I know. And you a motherfucking liar. The most recent shit that we seen was that you got a lawsuit against it, man, with Lamonte Sims in the fucking paperwork. We gonna get there.
So he got rat in him. Because I didn't even include him in my civil suit.
Anybody who knows anything about CS2 back knows that he was going to pull this play out of the playbook. I'm surprised that we had to hear him go through all of those other excuses before he got to this one. First, he said it was his defamation lawsuit. Then he said it was Cap, because LA Media were the owners. Then it was Deuce, and Big U must have fell out. After that, he said Deuce made fake paperwork before. Then he sent a subliminal threat to our sister Henny. After all those excuses, Porky said Deuce got rat in him. This shit is hilarious. Porky took off all of his clothes, got butt naked, laid on his belly, and jumped on Clubhouse with Chuck to lie as usual.
You feel me? I don't put no nigga name in no paperwork, bro.
Liar.
No.
Bold-faced liar. More lies. I don't know how many lies motherfucker got to hear for a nigga say, man, nah, hell nah.
So that's why I'm saying it can't be real. Ain't no way.
I ain't put nigga. Listen, I can show you on my text blast. My attorney tried to put his name, Big U, now today. Take them names out of there. LA Media, World Star only. It's their platform. They posted it. They obligated to it. I don't sue individual street niggas. Don't happen. I'm not pointing the finger at damn niggas. So if that nigga saying he done put my name in some paperwork, then we know he got rat in him. Right or wrong?
Boy, clawing and scratching, man. Every avenue, any turn he could take, whatever he can say to make it seem like he ain't what it is.
I guess it's a phenomenon, this lawsuit type of deal.
No, Poetik like it the same shit. Got on stand, and the judge said, "Do you see the man that assaulted you?" I said, "Yes, he's right there. He beat me so bad, Your Honor, that my dick won't get hard no more. I can't even have kids." Yeah, that's telling.
Poetik said that?
On my mama. You want to bet? I'll go get the transcripts. You want to bet?
No, don't do it.
That nigga got on the stand. Nigga pointed that man out.
He pointed that game?
Do you see the man? I can't have. Matter of fact, I'm going to go get the transcripts.
Let's go.
Y'all don't run it in the street.
Is it that one?
Dude, bro. Because the other Deuce M's created a whole fake document where all of a sudden it said cash shows.
It's fake documents, right, y'all? The paperwork is fake. Let's see.
But this is what's retarded. If you're going to add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? That's why you said the real one when you said it. All you got to do is go pull it up under Liddell Rawls. That's Dale Dog name. Okay. Pull that document up under that paperwork, then read it. So with this bullshit they got, you're going to pull up Liddell Rawls, right? And then read it.
Okay, we're gonna stop the bullshit and child's play right now here today. Here's both of the Main Street cases, the sheriff case and the FBI investigation as well. County of Los Angeles Sheriff Department, supplementary report. Okay, January 12, 2009. That's the file number, okay? Okay, kidnap robbery. Okay, there's the list. Okay? Okay? Huh? Damu and Kiwi conversations, man. We don't do no hearsay. And documentation supersedes conversation, okay? We're gonna stop this right now. Now, we're not gonna go all into the details of somebody else's case, but we're speaking on facts, okay? Not hearsay. You understand me? Damu and Kiwi conversations. Wiretaps.
Don't let people piss on your head and tell you it's raining, y'all.
Okay? Main event case. Huh? So we're gonna stop playing though. Okay? Okay, we're gonna separate the hearsay from the facts. Facts over feelings. Okay? Just a skim through. Okay? Wait a minute. Yeah, we got some profit sessions in here too. And some John Hancocks. Yeah, that's in here too, man. Okay? Wait, there's more. Okay, page 10 reads as follows, right? Huh? They placed a call to Mark Stevens in Atlanta at Deja 34. That's Mark Stevens and Shaq's production entertainment company. Have you, right? Okay? The Los Angeles County Sheriff placed a call and left a message to Shaq. On September 9, at approximately 11:45 hours, investigators spoke with Los Angeles police officers. Yeah. Regarding the Main Street kidnapping case. There's more. The interview mark. Also present during the interview was Mr. Stevens' attorney. Stevens said after the investigation left a message saying that they wanted to talk to him regarding a kidnap and assault investigation occurring in Los Angeles. A little reading. Right here. Within the next couple of months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, "I need to talk to you, man. The big fella's, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes." Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones, Wack 100, told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross' home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money.
You know, prior to me meeting with Starterbox, me and Darren Dupree.
That's Greg Caden, y'all.
He was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq, because he had been hooking up allegedly with Shaq's old lady, and then he was trying to extort money out of Shaq, saying that he was going to release photographs or compromising things about Shaquille.
Within the next couple of months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, "I need to talk to you, man. The big fella's, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes." Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones.
If you're going to read the real paperwork, not the fake shit dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document.
Now remember how I say he keep coming back and he keep making up fake different versions of the shit. So here's the instance of him saying, "Oh, the paperwork is fake. The paperwork is fake." But then they're going to go on to say, "No, that paperwork is real." Got to see through the bullshit. Discernment is a motherfucker, man. Pay attention to these motherfuckers. Stop letting them lie to your ass, man.
Document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it.
Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones, Wack 100, told him that Ross had a videotape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross' home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money.
Prior to me meeting with Starterbox, me and Darren Dupree, he was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq.
Greg Kading publicly stated that Stutterbox was involved in an attempt to extort Shaq. But what really solidifies that claim is what's written in the police's official supplementary report. In it, Mark Stevens confirms the story, saying he got a call from Ross about a tape involving Shaq, one that didn't include his wife. Shortly after that, Mark Stevens says he received a call from Cash Jones, better known as CS2 back. During that,
I don't know if they're going to get here in this, but Ray J, alright, Shaq had Deja 34 records. The artist that they had at the time was Ray J. I'm just gonna say Ray J for now, because I that's on it slipped my mind, but I know for a fact they had Ray J. This whole fucking process is how Wack even wind up with Ray J. It's some whole that No, I think we passed the statute of limitations, but I'm still not gonna do it because we see what's going on with Big U right now. And even though he's a fuck nigga, that's not what we do over here on My Wack TV.
Call, CS2 Back told him about the tape Stutterbox had and suggested that he could take it to TMZ and make a serious bag off of it. Let that sink in. That means CS2 Back, who many believe to be Porky.
Now keep in mind, y'all, keep in mind, who throughout, as long as y'all known him, who has made it their point in their business and kind of made their name off of exposing people's sex tapes and shit. Y'all forget about Oscar De La Hoya? Y'all forget about Oscar De La Hoya? Let's go.
Was actively assisting Stutterbox in the extortion plot. He wasn't just aware of the tape. He was pushing it, attempting to profit from it, and helping move the play forward. So when Greg Kading talks about the extortion attempt, and the paperwork shows CS2 Back helping facilitate it, it becomes pretty clear. Porky wasn't just a bystander. He was right there, involved in the move, and the police knew it the whole time. Why was he never charged, or even questioned? And no matter how many times he tries to deflect, the truth is already on record. So ask yourselves this question. Why did Porky lie and say Deuce made this paperwork?
Because he had been hooking up with, allegedly, with Shaq's old lady, and then he was trying to extort money out of Shaq, saying that he was going to release photographs or, compromising, things about Shaquille.
My bad, I had that little call right there to distract the fuck out of me, but Oscar De La Hoya, fuck, it's missing my mind right now. But his name kept coming up with people's sex tapes and shit like that. Oh, Nipsey Hussle. Man, I'm not gonna ramble right here, but y'all can, somebody watching this shit remembers better than my mind is doing right now. That's been Wack's go-to shtick. It's exposing the motherfuckers' sexual history or sexual exploitations. But let's go.
And Shaq had a friend that I think his name was Mark Turner or something like that. Don't hold me to that name, but I think his name was Mark Turner, a guy from Atlanta. And that guy Mark knew the shot caller, the head guy for the gang that Stutterbox was associating with, which was the Main Street Crips. And his name was Del Dog. And so, Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, man, you gotta swear your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Don't knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox. Stutterbox is scared for his life, so he goes.
Now, mind you, Flakko sitting up here telling you that Stutterbox knew about this, but they actually fucked up somebody named Robert. That's why I say when people sit up there and get out here, and a part of me feel like Flakko, because he's thorough when he wants to be. He's very thorough when he wants to be. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna let that breathe. Yeah, I'll do with that what you will.
Run into law enforcement. So law enforcement gets involved in him. Then during that process, he mentions that, he knows something about Biggie's murder. He tells us there's this guy named Cash Jones, who's a big dope dealer for Suge Knight. He's a truck driver. So we're like, oh shit, okay, that's interesting. If we can, get some leverage like that on Suge, like a Keefy D thing, right? And so we go and start investigating Cash Jones, and we spend months, and it becomes very, very clear he's not doing anything other than working his ass off, pushing his truck, trying to get some magazine off the ground, and he's just hustling. He's certainly not dealing any dope. And so we realize that Stutterbox is just feeding us this bull. In fact, Stutterbox goes so far as to tell us, hey man, this dude's house is loaded with weapons. It's like Beirut in there, he's got all kinds of illegal weapons. So we do a search warrant at the house. This dude's house is loaded with weapons. It's like Beirut in there, he's got all kinds of illegal weapons. So we do a search warrant at the house.
Greg Kading recently revealed something major. The reason Porky's house was raided was because Stutterbox told authorities that the place was full of firearms. And when law enforcement executed that search warrant, they found exactly that. Multiple weapons inside the home. Now forget the story Porky's been telling everyone, that his house was raided because they thought he was living above his means. That was just another lie.
The dumbest shit you probably ever heard in your life. Who the fuck gets their house raided for living beyond their means? Well, shit, it's 2025. Things may be a little different now. However, they will establish some kind of credible grounds that they gonna do the shit on, and it ain't gonna be because it seems like you're living beyond your means. That's the dumbest shit in the world. And anybody that ever believe that shit, man, you gotta You got to really think about that. Why does that make sense to you?
The real reason was much more serious. Law enforcement was already looking for leverage, something they could use to pressure Porky into flipping on Marion Knight. And what better way to do that than to catch a convicted felon, already fighting a gun case in Texas with more illegal firearms?
Wheeler, Texas. Wheeler, Texas.
Don't overlook this, though. At the exact time the feds were raiding Porky's house, he was being pulled over in his truck, miles away from the scene. That wasn't a coincidence. They didn't want Porky at home during the raid because of the threat he might be armed. So what did they do? The feds set up a fake trucking company to call Porky and book him for a load, intentionally drawing him away from the house. As soon as he hit the road, they raided the property, and not long after, they pulled him over. And they weren't just checking his license and registration. Think about that. The feds had a search warrant specifically targeting guns. They found those guns, and Porky, already a convicted felon, was in the middle of fighting a separate felon in possession case out of Texas. That's not a light situation. That's the kind of pressure that makes people flip. So why would the police just let him go after that? They didn't let him go. They arrested him. This is the reason Detective Michael Coet said that the only one arrested was Cash Jones. So now the question becomes, what did Porky give them in return?
Of course, they'll come up with shit. And so eventually we, contact Cash Jones and Wack, and it's just like, hey man, here's the story. This is why we're here. Kind of fucked up. Sorry. We're being led on by this individual who claims you were.
I'm pausing right there. That's what that's what the feds are required to do. There is a specific timeline. I think 30 is too short, but it's like 60, 90, maybe 120 days, maybe even 180 days. If they have your phones tapped, or if they got bugs, if they've been investigating you with any intrusive tactics, after a certain period of time, if they don't find anything, they have to notify you. That's a standard. That's what they do. And I'm saying that to underscore the fact that this isn't some one-off shit to where if they're doing it and they don't find nothing that, oh, now they owe you one bullshit that Wack is out here trying to push on people. Talking about, man, y'all was wrong and I'm about to sue y'all and all this shit. And then his attorney telling him, well, you know what you really do, so you need to just kick back and take that. But this is the feds. This is the FBI. And you say they done kicked your door in and investigated you and did all this shit. They been had wiretaps going on you and all this shit. But you gonna kick back on this one because you know how you really are. Boy, if that ain't a lie wrapped in a lie wrapped in a lie, I don't know what the fuck is. But like I said, you gotta stop letting people piss on your head and tell you it's raining. Let's go.
We're doing all these things. And so, we're washing our hands.
Okay, that's that one. That's that one. All right.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV.
A new court loss for President Trump. Another court now stopping his bid.
All right. Now let's prove that when he stops denying that the paperwork is fake. Because for the longest, he out here talking about all that paperwork ain't real. Show me the paperwork where it say CS2 was this and CS2 that. But it had a... Let's go. Let's get into it, y'all.
The feds run this shit. Law enforcement run this shit.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Reggie and John over at Bomb first brought CS2 back onto their YouTube channel yesterday, giving viewers the chance to ask whatever questions they wanted. Man, Porky really did himself a disservice this time. He told so many lies on Reggie's panel, I decided to break them down in segments instead of doing one long video. Today's segment is going to expose just how much of a liar CS2 back is. With everything that happened with Big U, it's impossible to ignore the hidden role Porky played in getting people to implicate Big U and themselves in multiple crimes. We already know Porky's been working, which is why today we're going back to CS2 back. Now Porky is admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic. This comes after Deuce pointed out that Officer Greg Kading never claimed the paperwork was fake. Because of that, Porky decided to abandon his lie about Deuce making fake work and adding back to it. Instead, he created a new lie and put it together with his original lie. The new lie is that Deuce made fake work and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it, and he merged that with his original lie, which was that CS2 back was just a low-level drug dealer and that he himself doesn't sell drugs. The problem with Porky's original lie is that the paperwork doesn't say anything about CS2 back being a low-level drug dealer. The only reason Porky is lying like this is to cover up the fact that he's actually CS2 back, the federal informant.
Man, I remember you, man. Reggie Wright and Wack 100, can you please explain to the Eagle Balls the Dildo case was a state case, not federal?
Correct. Dale Dog was a state case involving all main streets.
The reason Porky emphasizes all main streets, the way he just did, is because he's trying to distance himself from the speculation. Porky want people to believe that only main streets were involved in this case. And by making it clear that he wasn't directly from Main Street, he's attempting to convince people that he couldn't have been involved.
That's how Flakko trying to convince y'all too right now. And it's not just that. Seti Nash doing the same thing. But like I told y'all a couple weeks ago, we closed the book. We closed our chapter on Seti Nash until it's truly necessary. And a police ass nigga covering for a police ass nigga don't really it's not significant enough, because I think we already should expect that. Let's go.
A typical tactic of Porky's used to deflect attention and create a narrative that separates him from any direct ties.
Yes. Right? Some other shit they threw me in that I was never arrested, never had nothing to do with. One Main Street took the stand on 7 or 8 Main Streets. All you got to do is go pull the work.
See, look, he say, oh, I ain't never had nothing to do with. Bitch, we don't even know nothing about you having nothing to do with this case till you sat up there and told us for no reason whatsoever. Oh, I'm the one that got the Main Streets off with the Shaq extortion case. Didn't nobody even know about no Shaq extortion case. Didn't nobody even know about no motherfucking Main Street case. But you wanna be involved in the goddamn thing. You wanna be Forrest Gump. You wanna be in every fucking historical situation. You done put yourself in some shit that you told on. And this shit been bad for him ever since, because it's just been unfolding. So let's go.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it was a state case held in CCB court. Well, I'm going to keep it real. Dude, when he took the stand in front of the whole LA.
He know everything about it. He know the courtroom. He know all this shit. But y'all try to put me on some shit I don't know nothing about. Bitch, you put yourself on it. And you in it. You put yourself in it, and you did it because you was in it. And now motherfucker find out, oh no, you didn't get nobody off on that case. You was actually working on that goddamn case. And it kind of starts to revealing why you did try to get ahead of that shit in the beginning. You know, last week I told y'all about showing the F's on your report card and coming clean first so can't nobody beat you to it. That's not the same as coming forth with a lie or a gloss over or a made up story of some bullshit you did in your past. That's not the same. You should just own your flaws and wear them like, you know what I'm saying? Like medals of honor. It ain't honor, but it is what it is. Well, let's go.
The whole court was streetmen and Muslims. Dude walked in that motherfucker, took the stand in front of everybody for about 4-5 months and walked out and jumped in his Rolls Royce and drove off. Yeah. It's real. Yeah. I remember Captain Will. You know Captain Will? FOI. Yeah. Brother Will. Yeah. Brother Will called me and was like, yo, Wack, can you talk to him? I said, bro, talk to him about what? He's fully aware of what he's doing. He's doing it in front of y'all. Yeah. What you want me to tell you?
Could you explain his relationship? I know the answer to this, but a lot of people get him mixed up and calls him Farrakhan's nephew. Could you explain that relationship?
That is Farrakhan's nephew. That's not a lie.
That's by the sister, right? I'm saying I know that. I'm just want you.
No, his dad's his father's sister.
Yeah, something about a sister I know. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, his father's sister is Farrakhan's wife. That's not a lie. That's true.
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles. So you asking me to he told you, I'll get you and your boyfriend on the phone. You know who I call your boyfriend. And we'll call him. And he said he'll get you on the phone with Mark Stevens.
You gotta give Reggie an E for effort, because he sure acts like he's protecting Porky. Reggie and Porky both know we don't have to get on the phone with Mark Stevens or Stutterbox. We have all heard.
Even though they have gotten on the phone with Mark Stevens, Mark Stevens was the actual person that know, like the. If we have to, we'll add that to the rabbit hole and we'll watch that too.
Both of their testimonies, and both of them said Porky was CS2 back. I want you guys to listen close to what Porky says next, because he completely switches the narrative that he was running before, which is more proof that he is indeed CS2 back.
Now, here Mark Stevens. This is the thing, right? Yeah. This is the thing. If you go read the real paperwork, not the fake shit dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it.
There's no fake document with his real name in it. All of the documents call him CS2 back. Any document I've ever seen, any document they've ever presented, all says CS2 back. Nobody's ever said Wack 100 or Cash McElroy Jones or Wack or what he like to call himself, CK Wack or any of that bullshit. None of that's there.
If you read it, it says CS2 back. If you read it, it says CS2 back.
Do you guys understand what just happened? Porky just told me that I need to go read the real paperwork, not the fake one that Deuce allegedly made. Porky claimed that Deuce created some fake paperwork and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it. But here's where it gets interesting. Porky then starts telling me what the real paperwork says. He says, it says CS2 back. This is Porky, in front of the entire world.
Funny you say that.
Admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic, just like Greg Kading said it was. But that's not even the funny part. The real kicker is that after we released the audio of Greg Kading saying Porky was back, Porky accused Deuce of making fake paperwork. However, when he said this, he didn't mention Deuce putting his real name in it. Instead, he claimed Deuce created fake paperwork and just added back to it.
He's winning created some fake work.
Now here's now here we go. First the motherfucker made some fake, quote unquote, fake paperwork with your real name in it. Now a motherfucker made some, quote unquote, fake paperwork with some other shit in it. Like I say, these folks' story has never changed. It's never deviated. Your story has changed at least 3 times. Let's go.
Add some back shit. You don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. He's winning created some fake work and add some back shit. You don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. But this is what's retarded. If you're going to add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? If you're going to add...
Yeah, hear this shit, right?
Add some shit and you want to make it believable, just put my real name. Why the fuck would you put something in there that say it sounds like your real name? Like, he's just crazy. Dude said, actually, we got the clip. He said, I went and pulled the paperwork myself. Same docket number right here. There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
Now, fast forward to today. Porky is openly admitting that the real, authentic paperwork actually says CS2 back, which directly contradicts his earlier claims that Deuce added back to it. So now, on Reggie's panel, Porky has completely changed his story, essentially repackaging his lie, which only helps to expose him even further. The contradictions are piling up, and it's becoming clear that Porky can't keep his story straight.
If you read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? He's winning created some fake work and add some back shit. Read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
I really hope you guys can see what's going on here. If you didn't believe Porky was CS2 back before, I hope you believe it now. Initially, Porky claimed that there was no clause in the paperwork mentioning CS2 back, and that Deuce was the one who added that detail. But now, Porky is contradicting himself, saying that the CS2 back paperwork is legit, and that it clearly states CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. This should be enough to prove to the entire world that the CS2 back paperwork is real, and that Porky the Pyru is, in fact, CS2 back. Porky even told me directly to go read the paperwork, and I'd see that it says CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. Now I'm just going to tell you all right now, the paperwork does not say that. Porky is lying again. He's a master at spinning stories, but the truth is clear. He's caught in his own web of lies.
I ain't never had a dope case in my life. And if I was a dope dealer, best believe I wouldn't have been a low-level dope dealer. And best believe I don't have no family that I got to worry about.
That's how much, look. That's the kind of lies dope fiends tell. I ain't no junkie, and if I was a junkie, I wouldn't be smoking crack. You think I'd be down here? Piece of, boy, who you think? It's so much a logical fallacy, man. That's all this motherfucker doing. We're going to get through this because we got one more we're going to do after this. So Greg Kading, we're going to, after this, we're going to play him talking about how Wack 100 is lying about his whole involvement with that case. And that's where we're going to stop this shit.
That live in the main streets. I'm not from Main Street. My neighborhood is probably about 18 miles from Main Street. 18 to 20 good miles. So if you go read it, but again, you probably a dude from Scandinavia or something who don't understand what you're reading. You got to tell yourself, well, it gives a description of who this dude is and what he does in the street.
Oh, my bad, y'all, but it's just so much logical fallacy here. First, and you just got to look at it and see through it. First, he tried to tell you, well, I'm not a Main Street Crip, and the case was involving Main Street Crip. So if I'm not that, No, you were telling on the case, sir. It'd be like you misrepresenting the whole situation. Then you turn around and say, "What did you say?"
And what you read. So if you go read it, but again, you probably a dude from Main Street.
Then you try to say, "Oh, well, you from Scandinavia, so you went." Like, it's every form of logical fallacy that you could imagine. He's not arguing any of this shit with facts. He's arguing with ad hominems. He's arguing with false dichotomies. He's arguing with straw mans. He's arguing with red herrings, appeal to authorities, appeal to ethos. Like, anybody with low level discernment can see through this bullshit. But for some reason, man, motherfuckers ain't clear on it. So I say, let me do my part. Let's go. We're gonna finish this up. We probably got about to get y'all on back on to the rest of y'all lives in the next 25, 30 minutes. Hang tight.
18 to 20 good miles. So if you go read it, but again, you probably a dude from standing.
Hit that like button if you ain't already. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already.
Maybe or something who don't understand what you're reading. You got to tell yourself, well, it gives a description of who this dude is and what he does in the streets. Does it fit my description?
Yeah. Porky knows I'm not from Scandinavia. If I was, his empty spin attempts might actually work. So what I do next is I send Porky a $10,000 challenge, asking him to provide proof before all of Reggie's viewers that the paperwork said CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer. You see, these are the uninterrupted lies Porky has been on Clubhouse telling for years. This is the reason he blocked Deuce on Clubhouse. Porky knows the kind of holes Deuce would poke through his lies. So he avoids him like the bubonic plague.
All right, scandalous. This is Reggie. Tell him I challenge him to $10,000 right now. You have to show it and put it in escrow. Everybody always talking about money, but you put it in escrow. And he said, I'll challenge right now on this live show us where is a CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Ask him that, Reggie. Okay.
Bro, here's what he got to do, bro. Because the other Deuce M created a whole fake document where all of a sudden it said Cash Jones. Like, it was crazy.
Okay.
But this is what's retarded. If you going to add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name?
That's why you said the real one when you said it.
All you got to do is go pull it up under Liddell Rawls. That's Dale Dog name.
Okay.
Pull that document up under that paperwork, then read it. Fuck with this bullshit they got. You go pull up Liddell Rawls, right? And then read it.
We're going to get into some of these what you call it. I just read one page of the paperwork. I'm going to read 2 more pages because Scandalous challenged them and Reggie read it, $10,000 bet that Wack 100 can't go through the paperwork and show him where it says that CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer and a Main Street Crip.
That's because it never said that. And that's the fallacy. He tell you to go prove that it say some shit that you never even fucking said that it was gonna say in the first place. And he gonna use the fact that you can't prove that is how you full of shit. Even though the whole premise of this shit is, man, look. Shout out Speedboat, man.
See, this is right here is why Scandalous was tricking that, we already tricked him out of 2,000. Scandalous trying to trick him out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
He wants the bag.
Yeah, Scandalous, he tried to bait the niggas so bad. Well, he know he CS2 Back, so he know the Scandalous was too sure of himself. He was too cocky, right? So
Correct.
Reggie read it, Wack listening, and it says CS2 Back. See, what Wack is reading, you see this stuff that's crossed out? Huh?
No, I'm listening to you. You said, repeat that one time.
Look at the thing at the screen. You see the paperwork that's crossed out, the part.
Yeah, with the line at the top in the right hand. Well, it'll be my right top corner with the X going. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right. So right there, if I blow it all the way up, y'all should be able. No, that's as much as it go. It says CI2, confidential informant 2.
Wow.
Right, and that's the low level person.
Let me help y'all out. Let's read this if I can. Purchases large. Oh shit. Purchases large quantities of crack cocaine from blank. From redacted or sealed, and amount to gain stature within Main Street Mafia Crip. It would be followed by scrutiny on the such and such customer and distribution. Yeah, let's say neither of which CI2 would be, bro. We're gonna stop. I'm not gonna read all that shit. The fact that this man been telling y'all CS2 Back is the low-level drug dealer, and right here we're seeing plain as day that it say CI2 is the low-level drug dealer. Like I say, people don't. You're not gonna keep making up excuses or explanations for why you're not that that are irrelevant unless you don't have explanations or points or details or facts that are relevant. The reason you wouldn't have the ones that are relevant, you put 2 and 2 together, y'all.
Purchaser of crack cocaine, et cetera, right? You got a CI2 and then you got a CS2. So when his dumb ass can't read no paperwork, you know, you gang goofy from when he was horny for content. You know what I'm saying?
My bad, real quick. A confidential informant is able to inform shit. A confidential source may be a source of information, but because they wouldn't take your calls, you wasn't able to be an informant. Maybe you would have been CI3, but because motherfucker saw through you, they never gave you no action, and the best you could be was CS2 back. Let's go, yeah.
You know that you don't know how to read no work.
What really happened here is that Porky was spinning. He knows the difference between CS2 and CI2, and he saw that the entire section for CI2 was blacked out with a marker. So why would Porky read the crossed out section, but completely miss the paragraph underneath it? That just happens to be about CS2 back. But hey, it's all out in the open now. We're going to go through that paperwork, just like Porky told us to. And it's crazy, because every time we do exactly what Porky says, all we find are more lies from him. And the blame just keeps landing squarely on his shoulders. The truth is coming to light, and Porky's attempts to spin the story only make his lies more obvious.
So we thought we had one. You know what I'm saying? Scanners try to bamboozle the nigga. The nigga talking about CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer, and this and this and this and that, right? No, that's CI2 back. Right.
I'm listening. Yeah.
So CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization.
Yeah, you're a source of information. You're a source of confidential information. You're not informing on the crime, but you're a source of information of facts and details important to this shit.
In the history of Main Street, and shout out to the Main Streets, they got a lot of legendary niggas over there that was getting to that bag. Richie Rich, all kind of dudes, right? Dale Dog is one of the most known Main Street Mafia Crips that ever done it in South Central LA, right? Just the accomplishments he made coming up off the east side of South Central LA with his whole...
Actually, y'all, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to finish reading this out for... and shout out to Deuce Sims, Lamonte Sims. He does good work over there on his channel as well. I'm going to read this up so we can get out of here and we can go to this last video and we're going to seal the deal. So CS2 had... Let me pull this mic in front of me. All right. So CS2 has provided suitable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. That's what MSMC stands for. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotics distribution network because you're not a member. CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to MSNBC, Main Street Mafia gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotic customers. So you're not a low-level drug dealer at all. CS2 was never a low-level drug dealer. Flow of narcotics, proceeds, and methods that they are using to launder their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of MSMC gang members. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections, and distributions of proceeds. Let me speed it up because I think it's also going to say, I'm going to let it say it first. I don't want to say it.
Who won't play Mafia Crip ever? These Gordon Mafia Crip gang members.
Oh, okay. Limited number of members. I'm able to specific information. Is also unable to provide any information regarding the MSMC associates. Do we get to the part where it says all right. With other leaders of other large gang organizations, CS2 is able to provide listed information regarding violent assaults committed by the Main Street Mafia Crips because he we about to wrap it up, so we're not gonna get to it there. But Stutterbox, they talk about how Stutterbox called him and told him what the fuck happened. Provide limited information regarding the violent assault committed by the Main Street Mafia Crips, including shootings, burglaries, and murders. CS2 is unwilling to testify. Peep this, y'all. This is an important detail. This is why you ain't gonna find his name nowhere. This is why you ain't gonna. CS2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of Main Street Mafia because CS2 is fearful of retaliation against CS2 and or CS2's family. CS2 believes that if any member of the Main Street Mafia Crip organization became aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement, the organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2.
Is able to provide limited fine court in CS2 and or criminal or.
But we've just found out that was a lie.
So, and I'm gonna sum that up with saying, CS2 back was, or Wack 100 was Stutterbox's neighbor at the time, so they knew where he lived, they knew where his family lived. That's why I'm saying all that. All right. And with that being said, let's go over here, and we're gonna finish this up with Officer Greg Caden says Wack 100 lied about helping Shaq in the 7 main streets. Switch that over.
Enter and has been involved. He has been involved in the hip-hop industry and has managed several artists. Wack 100 is also known for his outspoken nature and has been involved in various controversies and public disputes. Managers and label heads get things done, and Wack assumes those roles for artists like Game and Blueface. But Wack's controversial comments, like his recent thoughts on Mark Stevens and Big U, have taken precedence in the news cycle. Wack believes the media's focus on the controversy is par for the course for him, a 46-year-old formerly incarcerated Pacoima.
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Did I not play the video of Mark Stevens saying? I apologize, y'all. We got one more we need to do before we get here. Let's get Mark Stevens, because that's the guy that actually we'll get there. It'll make sense when I play it. Mark Stevens is the actual person that can confirm who CS2 back was, because that's the only person in the court documents that talked to CS2 back. So he's going to be able to clarify that statement for us. And just give me 1 minute. Looking for Mark Stevens. Quick video. It ain't even long. There we go.
Okay.
Bring that forward. Let's go.
So, where we was at, okay. So, at some point, you get a phone call from Wack 100 Cash Jones. And when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Dale Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Dale Dog some information that he had gotten from Stutterbox, right? It's like he was getting information from Stutterbox on what his plan was and what the get down was going to be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
Smart man. Rest in peace to Dale Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Dale Dog never trusted dude. You follow me? Right. So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't going to chance it. You follow me? Right. But it was later on. After they took the case to they was taking it all the way because the homie ain't had no choice. You know, he was facing a life sentence, so he had to take it all the way. And with all the lawyers that was involved, they was able to get the discovery, and that's when we found out that the lines was compromised.
And as soon when you get the discovery, was part of that the actual wiretaps?
The whole transcript. I got the whole transcripts. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretaps.
And do you in that paperwork? Do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in the transcript?
That was the initiating. When they started recording.
Right. And how did they refer to Cash Jones?
In the paperwork they put him as Back, B-A-C-K. And right. I kept asking the lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talking to no Back. And they said, nah, that's Wack. But they put him back because he a blood. So it's back. And I said, oh, okay.
And was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well, man, I'm glad that the truth was able to come out. And it's sad.
What more do y'all need to hear, y'all? I mean, we'll get great. We're seeing all these lies, y'all. It's point blank. Yeah. He talked the dog. That was his excuse. He claimed that couldn't have been him because he actually did talk the dog. Well, if you talk the dog, what did you talk to him about? What was y'all talking about? And if it was anything dealing with the case, that would be in the paperwork. Then your name would be in there. But your name's not in there because you didn't talk to him. But CS2 tried to, but he was denied, as Mark Stevens is explaining. And I just want y'all to know, Mark Stevens is not some low-level infidel. He's a credible man. He manages, he's Shaq's agent. Nigga, that's Stephen A. Smith's agent. This is a big dog. He not lying. Let's go.
But bigger than that, homie, right? You know, I watched dude, man. He said some things about big homie Shaq, you know, that wasn't true. He said some things like he been trying to destroy the big homie Big U name, and I'm seeing and watching this, and I called the big homie U. We was talking. I said, yo, when you get into Atlanta, man, come see me.
And then now we're about to find out why Big U stopped fucking with Wack 100 and how all this is interconnected.
Watching things like he been trying to destroy the big homie Big U name, and I'm seeing and watching this, and I called the big homie U. We was talking. I said, yo, when you get into Atlanta, man, come see me, because I had what I had for years. And when I gave it to the homie, I said, man, you read it, because it was a big ass textbook of shit. And the homie just sided with what was right. He said, I can't fuck with dude no more. And that was the end of that.
Until Wack started attacking, and that's when Wack started attacking him with false allegations and all of this online weird shit, right?
Correct, because I told.
How about that, y'all? How about that? I mean, what more do you need to see? This is the one in the paperwork. That's who the one that tried, who just tried. I need to get in contact with Dale Dog. That's the person that CS2 back was told that to in the paperwork, was Mark Stevens. So when Mark Stevens comes out and tells you, yes, that was Wack 100 that called me trying to get in contact with such and such. It's all in my paperwork. I got it. It was my shit. And when I sent that to Big U, that's why Big U stopped dealing with him. And Wack 100 to get on here and tell you some whole other, nah, I stopped dealing with Big U because Alan Brumwack, you need to go look up who that evil motherfucker is too. Alan Brumwack of E1 Records. They own the rights to Martin Luther King, Peppa Pig, Tupac. Man, this shit get deep, and I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole because I got to get y'all on back to y'all regular scheduled programs and shit. But if you are interested, put it in the comments and say something, and maybe we'll double back and do that at a later time. So just maybe looking to see why would the people over at E1 have a vested interest in any of this shit. Let's go. We gonna finish this up. I think they're gonna say something else good here, and if not, we're gonna get over there to where Greg Caden exposes that Wack 100, the premise that he even presented this shit to us under about him being involved with that shit was a lie. And then from there, we're gonna wrap it up. Let's go.
The homie Big U asked me why I didn't fuck with this nigga, and I said, when you pull up, I'm gonna show you. I want you to read it. And when he read it, he was like, oh, okay, I see why you don't fuck with the nigga. I can't fuck with the nigga. And that was it.
Wait, how long was it from when you first got it that you let you in Atlanta to show him the work?
I got the paperwork from the attorneys probably in, I want to say 12 or 13, because it was a series of, you know, remember the incident happened in 07, 06, 07, but Box had went
06, 07. That Wheeler, Texas case was 05, 06. Oh, excuse me, 06, 07. No, excuse me, 05, 06. He gets picked up for the Wheeler case. FBI's pick him up on the other side of big ass Texas, and they bring him back and say we're not gonna charge him. Hey y'all.
Went to prison. He called a drug case, so he went to prison, and they waited to almost the last month of the statute of limitations to go get the homies from Main Street. Right. So it had been about a 5-year period from the time.
But I do want to say Mark Stevens was wrong. He should have presented that information. He should have made that publicly available as known as possible the moment he knew that. He knew what Wack 100's out here presenting himself and trying to be. So to allow him to get all that shit off, it was foul on his part. He's a businessman. He's not from the, I don't know. I ain't gonna get into that, but there's that. But the truth is out there, y'all.
I mean, that had happened to the time that they came and got the big homies. And then once they got,
how did you feel about you waiting that long now?
Well, he chastised me, and I never, one of the things, bro, and it's like it's the slippery slope, as people say, right? Like on one end, Wack, the nigga, he wasn't doing no harm, right? He was just trying to move around and be the tough guy. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is, okay, that's what you want to do, cool. But then it went from that to, I heard what he was saying about the big homie Shaq, and then I heard what he said about Big U, and that's when I picked up the phone. I said, hey, you, man, I want you to read something, man. And then once you read it, once you know, you know. That's the Quran. That's the Holy Quran. Once you know, you're accountable for what you know. And when he read it, he said, okay, I see why you don't fuck with dude. I can't fuck with dude. And that was it. Let me tell you something, man. I probably haven't seen nor talked to Wack in years, and I wish everybody success and happiness. Brother, well put. Look, I call the homie Big U all the time. I call him the naked truth.
All right, y'all. We got that. And let's finish it up here. So we hear from the horse's mouth, the only person in the paperwork that actually listed as talking to CS2 back. He's saying that that's Wack 100. We didn't cover it in this video, and like I said, if we need to, we can go. Well, I can throw that in the next one. We can do that too. But Stutterbox also says that Wack 100 is CS2 back. And the only defense Wack has against that is, oh, he's a snitch. He lied about this. He lied about being a snitch. So because of all of that shit, he got to be lying about that. Man, stop letting people piss on your head and tell you it's raining. And with that being said, at the end of this, we're going to roll on now.
Hip-hop industry and has managed several artists. Wack 100 is also known for his outspoken nature and has been involved in various controversies and public disputes. Managers and label heads get things done, and Wack assumes those roles for artists like Game and Blueface. But Wack's controversial comments, like his recent thoughts on Mark Stevens and Big U, have taken precedence in the news cycle. Wack believes the media's focus on the controversy is par for the course for him, a 46-year-old formerly incarcerated Pacoima, California native who says he was the first minor in the California state prison system at just 16.
Another lie.
He came home in 1999, learned about the music game through working security for former Compton police officer Reggie Wright Jr., and propelled himself into an increasingly important position in the music industry. Wack is a frequent user of Clubhouse, where he single-handedly birthed an ecosystem of YouTube pages that screen record the arguments he has with everyone, from Spiderlope to Jim Jones. The blogosphere thrives off negativity, and his most fiery moments feed that hunger, which fuels the perception that he's naturally contentious. He's been condemned by some for moments like his live-streamed argument with former Blueface artist Chrissy and Rock, or his taboo opinions of artists like Tupac and Nipsey Hussle. A few months ago, Wack took to Clubhouse to enlighten his listeners and inform them about his hidden involvement in the high-profile lawsuit that accused Shaquille O'Neal and 7 Main Street Mafia Crips of kidnapping and extorting Robert Ross, a.k.a. Stutterbox. Wack stated that he reached out to LAPD Detective Greg Kading to orchestrate a play that would free Shaq in the main streets. We also reached out to Detective Kading, as we were interested in hearing the details in his words. I'll let Wack tell the story first. Then we'll hear what Greg has to say in response.
The Officer Greg Kading and Darren some shit. Yeah. When we coming outside on the stairway, me and my attorney, they stopped us. They say, look, man, we can't afford this harassment lawsuit. I'll be out the gate community. I'm playing on the Bears. I got to move my family. My wife is traumatized. She kicked my door.
Now, remember, y'all, it's not harassment for the FBI to believe that you're involved in criminal activity and to begin an investigation, including surveillance. As long as after a certain amount of time of them doing the surveillance, if they realize there's nothing, if they don't find anything, they have to notify you, which they did. None of that shit would call for a lawsuit that they would be trying to get out of that would garner you some fucking them owing you one. Let's go.
Oh, and I'm putting extras on it, right? They said, listen, man. They advised my attorney. My attorney said, look, dude said, drop the case, and they owe you one. If you don't drop it, right, then you know what comes with that. My attorney's talking to me. He know my personal business and say, you know how you are every day, so you don't really need that in your mix.
Now he say your attorney say, well, you know how you are every day. So the FBI been running surveillance on you, on your home, on you on the road, all of that. So whatever it is that you're doing daily that your attorney is talking about you don't need to worry about, which is concerning as well. But none of that, they would know about that if they was investigating you. Would you think the FBI some Rudy Poo motherfuckers? You think they running the Ricky Dick operation around them motherfuckers? If they investigating you, whatever this shit you talking about, that your lawyer talking about, well, you know how you are, they would know about that. If any of that was going on, that's why we know that's a lie.
So I said, well, listen, I don't need no motherfuckers hemming me up every day. We figure it out as we figure it out. I'll leave it like that. About 6 months go by, I look at the media, I see I got Shaq tied up. They're making accusations that Shaq paid the Main Street Crips to go kidnap this dude, Stutterbox. It wasn't in LA Lobby, it was on Sunset Boulevard. Right? So they tied Shaq into it. Shaq had did videos with the Main Streets, because Box was his dude. They using all this shit against him, saying he's tied into the gang culture and all this shit, blah, 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 blah. Right? I call my man Money Mark. Right? Money Mark is Shaquille's right-hand man, Ben Spartan. I said, yo, Mark, check it out. Call my attorney. Tell my attorney, I said, put you online with that federal officer. Have your attorney call that federal officer to the stand. Well, first tell him to call Box to the stand. You want him to do one thing and one thing only. Ask Box if he's a federal informant, documented. Everybody from LA is in the courtroom, he's gonna lie. Trust me, I know he's gonna lie. When that happens, I'm giving you a jewel because Shaq looked out for me. Right? I don't need this paper, so I'm passing it to you. Have your attorney call this Craig Cadens in, have him take a stand, and then let him tell the judge, present the documents he had, fingerprints, all the paperwork, the payments they've been paying this dude every month to show that this dude is a federal informant. At that point in time, Box has perjured himself on the stand. Whatever allegations against Shaq and anybody else tied to the case, they gotta kick it out. I lay back. Money Mark calls my attorney. Mark calls my attorney. My attorney called me. I said, yeah, give him that information. That favor they owe me, let them use it. He need it. I don't need it. Because they got Shaq in the trick bag. You can go to Google. That shit's still on Google. They do all that. Sure enough, he get up there, Box under oath, denies it, all this. They call Greg Cadens and motherfucker. Greg Cadens coming with his file, hands it to the judge. The judge opens it up. I guess, I don't know, it's some type of contract you sign when you sign up for these type of things, formal programs or whatever. The judge looks at it, calls, makes sure it's authentic, throws the case out. Not only the Shaq walk, but all the Main Street Crip walk.
On top of that, that's bullshit. But even let's say that wasn't no bullshit. Motherfucker, that's not grounds for them throwing out the case. They're not throwing that away. They just remove that from the shit. I don't know. It's 2025 and a lot of criminal cases have been public over the last few years, and we've seen how people push for mistrials and dismissals and things like that. And we see the, you know what I'm saying, the instances, the facts and shit that they use to present it. And we know from seeing this shit with our own eyes how they work around that. Yeah, they might, if something was done wrong, as you suggested and all that, it wouldn't be as simple as, oh, we finna throw the whole case out or no shit like that. No, we're gonna throw that piece of the information out. What the fuck? You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Not in legal proceedings. I don't know what country this motherfucker's talking about, but not America.
Walk that day out of court. That's how that happened.
All right, then. Damn, Wack, you the one that saved Shaq then.
I saved.
Damn, Shaq, you the one that saved Shaq, huh, Wack? Dumbass motherfucker in the background.
Oh, Main Street, it's real shit.
Okay, all of that is absolute bullshit, except for the fact we met him at his lawyer's office. We sat down. We said, "Here's the deal, man. We've had this case against you. We came up empty-handed. Sorry that you got caught in the middle of this. Somebody put your name out there. We didn't know any better, so we followed. We gave fucking Stutterbox the benefit of the doubt. Here we are. Was there an apology? I don't know. It's my style to kind of apologize. Sorry you had to fucking go through this. But nonetheless, it is what it is. The idea of suing us, fucking bullshit. Us having an agreement like we owe you one, bullshit. The idea of him having anything to do with the trial of when Stutterbox went to testify and the thing fell apart. Cash had absolutely nothing to do with any of that. So he's just taking all of these pieces of information and putting them together like he was the puppet master. It's all absolute bullshit.
How about that, y'all? Is that clear enough for you? Him himself is telling y'all that, and as he's explaining to you, that's bullshit. The motherfucker even say, yeah, it might be my style to apologize, meaning they don't even owe you a fucking apology for having a fucking investigation. But see, motherfuckers is playing on the ignorance of the audience and thinking that you slow. They think you dumb. You think if I say it right with enough confidence, you'll believe this shit. You ain't got no discernment. You ain't got no common sense. That's how motherfuckers play with y'all. That's what we try to do over here. We try to make sure motherfucker got the knowledgeito. They can't get nobody's collegeito. To be able to see through motherfuckers' lies and bullshit. And with that being said, y'all, if you haven't already, man, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you appreciate what we're doing over here. Hey, dislike the video if you don't like what we're doing, but I need y'all to do something, help a motherfucker with this engagement so I can get where I need to be. Get me out your algorithm and get me into the algorithm of motherfuckers that want me there. And with that being said, like I said, man, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and with that, we go.
Mop Wack, what's happening with you? Mop Wack.